Tinybones, big plays.
Only shooting stars break the mold.
As always, thank you so much to Untap.gg for sponsoring my channel. If you want to improve your Magic the Gathering Arena gameplay and improve yourself as a player, I highly recommend Untap.gg. Not only does it make Magic Arena have a more streamlined deck storage and kind of like deck tracking experience, it also gives you information about the metagame from you and other players so you can figure out what the deck that you need to play is and how to play it. Again, that's untap.gg, which you can find in the description of the video. Hello everybody, and welcome to Brawl Stars. I'm Amy the Amazonian, and today's spooky deck is Tinybones. Listen, Tinybones is a skeleton. That makes it appropriate for Halloween. There's also a lot of very, I'm going to say, grim cards in this deck, because the theme of the deck is discard, and flavor-wise, discard in Magic the Gathering is the loss of a thought. It's forgetting something. It's having something forcibly removed from your mind. Sometimes, you know, with violence. So if you haven't seen a Tinybones deck before, the goal of the deck is to get your opponent's hand empty and then activate Tinybones to kill them, because Tinybones can deal 10 damage for 6 mana, as long as your opponent's hand is empty. Tinybones also draws you cards whenever you make your opponent discard, or whenever they discard on their own, which can be really fun if your opponent is, I don't know, playing Riel or another commander that discards cards as part of their game plan. We're also running a lot of just good stuff in black, like Massacre Wurm or Liliana Dreadhorde General. They don't feed directly into Tinybones, but they make the deck really strong. Mono black is also very consistent, so we can run a few less lands than you might see. You're going to notice I have very few utility lands in here, but I am running snow lands because of Blood on the Snow. Some of these cards are alchemy, like City Stalker Connoisseur, and it does help the deck a lot. But you can build this deck without alchemy cards, because I know some people are not a big fan. Also, if you want to know where Tinybones is from, if you've never seen this card before, this is a Jumpstart card. But we recently found out that Tinybones lives on Dominaria, because Tinybones appeared in art from Dominaria United. So that was really cool. So Tinybones is a Dominarian citizen. Or skeleton. Skeleton? Alright, let's just go into the queue and play some games before I start making worse puns. It's Mono Green Azusa, she who plays many lands, and Tinybones for us. My favorite discard card that doesn't itself cause discard, but gives you things when people do discard, is in my hand. So I'm keeping this hand pretty much no matter what. I love Waste Not. Waste Not is just the toolbox designed by the Magic community that rewards you for your opponent discarding. It gets you either a zombie, or mana, or a card, depending on what your opponent discards. And our opponent is starting things off with some ramp. As you would expect, there's a Lotus Cobra. I'm going to kill this Lotus Cobra because with the Azusa enabling 3 lands being played per turn, that's a lot of extra mana, and I don't want to deal with those big chunky green things right now, even though I have removal in hand. Broker's Hideout. Nice. My guess is they have some ways to replay from the graveyard, so they're playing sacrifice lands in a monocolored deck. Also, that one gained some life, which is just kind of nice. How about Midnight Reaper? And I'll swing in for 1. Let's go, Tinybones, your bones are so small. They don't do a lot of damage. Order of Autumn's going to let them play lands off the top of their deck. And they could have played an extra land on the turn before. They didn't have one in hand. So let's take a look at what they do have. Oh! Oh, that's also kind of nice. Scootleby. Oracle. I have Meathook Massacre and Massacre Wurm in this deck, so Scoot Swarm, while scary, I feel like I can deal with. They're already able to play lands off the top of their deck. And Gigantosaurus is just kind of big. I'm going to hit Warden of the Woods here, because it gives them card draw, and that's going to get me a zombie. Yay, a zombie. I'll attack with the Midnight Reaper, too. Hey, you want to trade? No? Okay, that's cool. This flips. There's also a case to be made for me killing Augur of Autumn there before they could see a land on top of their deck, because we knew it wasn't a land on the previous turn. Alright, Azusa Lost But Seeking, and me murdering the Augur of Autumn a little too late. And our opponent saying, oh god, oh no, oh gee, how am I supposed to play my lands now? I can't, I don't have any in hand. GG, we win. I suppose 5-color good stuff is on the menu with Kenrith, the Returned King. Not my favorite commander to play up against, but you know what? If we're attacking their hand, maybe we can cut them off from resources just enough to establish ourselves before they can. King Kenrith, if you've never seen him before, is a 5-mana 5/5 that's in all 5 colors because of the different abilities that he can activate. These abilities include Trample and Haste for all creatures, buffing a creature, gaining life, drawing card, or reanimating. But this reanimation is strange because you can actually cause your opponent to reanimate one of their creatures. All of these are cards that can be used on any player, but typically you just use them on yourself, especially in a 1v1 battle. They're rampant, that's a Settle the Wilds. Gonna play out lands, and I'm going to throw down Liliana of the Veil, who is so powerful that she crashed the game. So I have to restart Arena right here. Let's go, close Arena. Open Arena again. This is the thrilling gameplay you're here for. Watch my APM. Watch that APM, and we're back. Much better. Alright, so we're gonna plus Liliana. I apologize for stalling opponent. I did not mean it. I'm gonna get rid of Eliminate. Right now, they've already ramped to beyond where I think that they would be playing the Eliminate threats. And next turn, they might be playing Kenrith. But they wouldn't be able to play in Haste Kenrith without the help of, I don't know, like Dark Ritual, but they don't have any black mana. Okay. Nice. Teferi, Time Raveler. How you doing, Teferi? You gonna bounce my Raven Man? Cool, I'm going to attack you with birds. And unfortunately, because they gave you an extra loyalty, you won't die as a result. I really wish you would. Vraska's Contempt is very tempting here, but I'm gonna go Raven Man and Tinybones. Oh, I see. So for anybody who's not a regular Arena player, who's wondering what it is that I see, that was a Pact of Negation. Oh, if ever it was one. Sometimes you can just tell what your opponent has. I'm gonna get rid of Davriel since we already have a kind of discarding Planeswalker out here. Symmetrical discard rewards us here. Raven Man gives me a bird, and Tinybones gets me a card, replacing that Davriel that I discarded. Paradise Druid. And if you're wondering why didn't they use Pact of Negation, they ended up discarding it, it's because they wouldn't have been able to pay this 5 mana. But you can tell, like, sometimes, hey, there's a free counterspell and they're holding it. Sometimes Arena is just a little tattletale. Okay, I'm going to take my 2 birds and attack Teferi. Then I'm going to plus, get that discard rolling. I'm going to discard a land on my end. And then I'm going to play the Eldest Reborn. I noticed my opponent is missing landfalls, which means they need that mana. And I need them to not have that mana. So our little tiny birdies took out the Planeswalker. Eldest Reborn cleaning things up, and we're actually approaching Liliana of the Veil being able to ult. Right now, the only permanents they have on the battlefield are lands, but forcing our opponent to sacrifice half their lands is brutal. That is an act of cruelty in Magic terms. And remember, we're keeping our hand pretty well sized because of Tinybones' card draw. Next turn, we start it up. They have to discard. What's it gonna be? Wrath of God. Now, do I want to be greedy and just plus, maybe with Turgid on the battlefield? Or do I want to be greedy and minus with Turgid on the battlefield? You already know. So this is a sacrifice-based ability. So Liliana, I am going to say, put 1, 2, 3, those in one pile and these 3 in the other. Which do you choose to keep? Well, thank you for the lands. Turgid sees those be discarded, and puts them onto the battlefield under my control. If you want to play I'm going to call it meaner version of this deck, by the way, you can build it as a discard and sacrifice theme with Turgid as the commander. I personally am not a big fan of that because I find that it's not a great matchup. It really discourages people from playing commanders like the Gitrog monster, and I would rather people be able to play sacrifice and discard strategies without being punished this hard. So yeah, no, Liliana, she's a really good card. Liliana of the Veil is a rude card who wins you games. I'd say GG, but I feel like I was the bully there. I feel our commanders are kind of similar, Liliana of the Veil and Tinybones. This hand seems okay to me. I've got some removal, I've got some discard, but I want to point out something about Liliana's ability. It's kind of good for us. If Liliana pluses and makes both players discard cards, Tinybones still triggers. Tinybones says, whoa, are we discarding over here? Iris Beetle. And the game crashed again. All right, well, while my opponent is taking their turn, I'm going to restart the game. This is 2 crashes in a row. Magic the Gathering Arena is a perfectly functional piece of software. Yup. Just real stable. Totally not a problem. It's definitely is video game. Oh, we have to discard. Infernal Grass, Kitty Cat, Liliana. I'm gonna drop the Infernal Grasp. I do want to keep my lands, though, and I am not blocking. Do I want to go for a Liliana and start plussing? She wouldn't be dead even if they play their Liliana. And minus. I'm just going to play Tinybones. T-Bones! So if you're wondering why I have an Ajani avatar after these crashes, it always defaults you to whatever the first in the alphabet thing is, which is A for Ajani. So you get the Ajani avatar when your arena client crashes. It's kind of silly, but that's how it goes. Cool. I block your acquisitions expert. And then, woo, I could destroy their commander, or I could destroy the Cursebound Witch, which will give them a card, and then attack Liliana. Get over here, Liliana. I'm hitting you with my bones. So Cursebound Witch did give them a card out of the spellbook. A lot of these are really strong cards. I do not like the way that this card is built. Ooh, and they're using Witch's Cottage to put it back on top because, yes, it's a ton of value. Inscription of Ruin. Oh no, there go my 2 cards! Thankfully, I do have Castle Locthwain here. I may actually want to do this in upkeep to avoid losing a life. But this is fine too. Undercity, Plunder City. Would you discard 1 card? Would you discard 2 cards? There's a loud banging noise outside, so if you hear something weird while I'm talking, that's the construction site outside. I hate it. I'm wearing earplugs right now, so I don't have to hear as much. Ooh, they went for the double discard. Nice, nice. Bojuka Bog, okay. They could have enough mana for Liliana of the Veil here. Oh, or Sholdred. That's a spooky lady. Draw first. Ooh, Hypnotic Specter. Play our hippie. Get down the Bojuka Bog, exile their graveyard. And then sit here and look at Sholdred, the big meanie, who is going to be hitting us every single time we draw a card. Waste not. Well, hopefully I won't have to be doing that much discard. Sholdred is so good. Such a good card in black. Taking a look at the Waste Not. Yes, yes. You should definitely attack me. I have a black cat just waiting to die. I think they're going to kill something. Oh, the March of Wretched Sorrow. And they exiled the cards from their hand. Both of them. To me, what that says, by the way, is I want to make sure I don't have to discard. I could go for a land. Why would I want a land, by the way? Activating Tinybones. Liliana of the Veil. If they make me sacrifice the black cat... Oh. They wouldn't have to discard. Oh, we get to do something fun now. Hey! Do you see how you don't have any cards in hand? Kaboom! There's 10 damage right to your face! Hey, you want a plus again? And empty, head empty. Nope, looks like we're going for killing everybody. Well, move my commander to the command zone. Yeah. They don't have to discard because they don't have any cards in hand. I don't have any cards in hand. I'm gonna kill Liliana, though. So I don't have any cards in hand. And I'm gonna play Murderous Rider. Just playing a creature out. It's not very good because she would just make me sacrifice it. Ooh, but they know that I have an extra card draw source here, Castle Locthwain. Their commander costs 7, mine costs 4, and all I have to do is activate it twice, which would force them to leave cards in hand. We're in a really good spot. I'm going to say that that is victory secured. Skeletons versus elves. It's Freyalise, Sky Shroud Partisan. I like the curve of this hand. We've got 2, 3, 4, 5. And they're probably going to be playing very low to the ground, so I want to have something early, including some removal. I'm going to lead with Bojuka Bog because it comes in tapped. They're also unlikely to do that much graveyard stuff, maybe Timeless Witness and things like that. They're going to be playing elves. They're going to be ramping, they're going to be elfin, they're going to be ballin'. Here's the Raven Man, who makes birds. Could have also gone for Tinybones. I'm actually thinking, like, hey, they might attack here and I want to trade. Oop, here comes Freyalise. They tap the Paradise Druid because they are intending to untap it and give it +1/+1. And I'm going to swing at Freyalise with the Raven Man. They didn't block. I really wanted them to block. I'm gonna play Gutmorn. I feel like giving them Davriel is pretty fine. They're going to be able to swarm and attack Davriel really easily, so I don't mind them having a copy of it. Ooh, a Crowing Rites of Itlamok with a Raven Man out? That could make me a lot of mana. I would actually love that. Oracle of Moldiah that's been double buffed, and they have a Gallic Readers on top of the deck. Trying to think. what I'd like to do. I'd like to steal. I'm going to use Raven Man to make my opponent discard a card. Nice. That's putting that back into my hand. And we're going to get another little birdie. Tweet, tweet, tweet. And now that we have 4, I like Growing Rites of Itlimoc here. I want to flip this over and get tons of green mana. And yeah, I know. Green mana, not exactly what I need to activate my commander, but I can still use it. It's still good. Especially if there's a lot of it, and there's going to be. Oof and ow. Let's cast Growing Rites of Itlimoc, see what it hits on Enter the Battlefield. Nothing. Okay, it was just like removal on top. They have a lot of elves. They have a Llanowar tribe on top of their deck. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna swing at Freyalise. And the Growing Rites are gonna flip it up. And I actually think I'm going to put an upkeep stop here. This transforms, and I'm going to use the mana immediately to hit Oracle of Moldiah. That way, if there is a land on top of their deck, they can't use it. Great. Now I have a Gaia's Cradle. Hell yeah! Mono black deck with a Gaia's Cradle. That's what I'm talking about. I could trade with this Galagreeters, but with the Itlimoc, I don't know. I think I am, just because it's going to prevent an extra draw from Toski, and I feel like I already have a lot of good creatures out here. They have 2 and a tapped mana, 3 mana now. Llanowar Tribe's coming out. Elf makes elf. And I'm not able to destroy most things here. I could hit them with Noxious Gearhulk. We can go for Davriel. I'm going to tap 1, 2, 3. Davriel here. Make them discard. Because Gutmorn will give me a copy of whatever it is. Okay, Rishkar's cool. 1, 2... This will only allow me to tap for green. So yes, I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna put the counters actually on these 2 birds. Ooh, Tinybones. They'll get rid of a token. I'm gonna keep this back to block. Freyalise is back. They could seek an elf, getting a random elf out of their deck. They could untap this to generate a lot more mana. If they have something like Craterhoof, unfortunately I'm just dead. Ooh, Ugin! Ugin is able to destroy any of these colored permanents. Gutmorn's a good choice. Stops me from stealing. Toski has to attack. And everybody else is going at Davriel. I'm actually just going to block Toski here, and I'm going to let Davriel die. We have these great flyers, so I'm going to go for these Planeswalkers. I could get rid of that 1 blocker. That would allow me to kill a little bit more. I do like that these are also mana. I think that that's kind of cute. I'm going to start by playing Tinybones. I could activate Tinybones here. But I'd rather build up my board a little bit more. I'm going to get rid of the Huntmaster. Yes, please. Do I want to play this? Not really. We're going to attack 1 bird at Ugin, 2 birds at Freyalise. And we also have a not so interesting blocker, but it can sit in front of Toski, and Noxious Gearhulk, who can trade with either of these. They're seeking an elf. They have tons of mana. And they got Pollenbright Druid. Nice! They could use that to proliferate their commander, or just put a +1/+1 counter on, like, Toski to make it harder to block. Nope, they went for proliferating. They probably want the card draw off of the Regal Force from Freyalise's ult. I'm going to trade with Paradise. No, I'm going to trade with Llanowar Tribe, and I'm going to block Toski. And Tyrite Sanctum, notably, can put +1/+1 counters on legendary creatures, like Toski, turning them into gods. I knew that was a risk there, but I can afford to replay my commander, thanks to Itlamok. And I want Ugin. Thank you so much for the Ugin. I appreciate that very much. Let's plus. And let's also find out what you have in your hand. City Stalker Connoisseur will make them discard the largest non-land in their hand. If it's a land in hand, it doesn't do anything. It was Craterhoof Behemoth! Oh, thank goodness. Okay, how about we activate Tinybones? And we exile Toski. And we kill Freyalise. We also attack their face. And we win the game. I like that. I like the part where we win the game. It's very good. Liliana, Waker of the Dead. We played against another Liliana earlier today, but this is not as much of a discard commander. She does have a plus that's a discard, but she also has this general graveyard-related abilities and reanimation. I think that this is a pretty cool card. A little surprised to see it as a commander, though, over Liliana of the Veil. But you know what? Only costs 1 more mana, has a very nice, versatile suite of removal as her minus, because -X even gets around indestructible. And it deals damage. Agonizing Remorse, what do you want to hit? My guess is Undercity Plunder, because I need card draw. And that's the card that would have given me card draw. Oof, okay, so we're stuck on 2. You have 3 mana. I have 2. Okay, that's a land. I'll count it. In fact, I'm actually going to bring this in and pay 3 life, so I can activate the Knight of Ebon Legion and deal a bit more damage here. Starting the growth of Knight of Ebon Legion is really, really good. It did require me to pay 3 life, but I think that's totally worth it. Also, now I have a 3rd land. Sort of. Supplier, they're filling up their graveyard. I mentioned before that they probably have some reanimation in here. It also looks like they have a bit of a sacrifice strategy. Race to Forgotten Gods with a Dreadhorde invasion out is great because you can sacrifice these cards before you amass to just keep getting a new zombie army. I don't have anything too impressive here, so I'm going to swing in with my Knight of Ebon Legion. Like they're chump blocking, that's cool. And I have no targets for Epic Downfall. Maybe I'll get lucky and they'll bring out their commander and they'll plus and I'll get to cast Necrogoyf. Please let me play Necrogoyf. I want to. Alright, so I'm actually going to sacrifice my commander here because I don't even have discard ready. And Knight of Ebon Legion is a house. It's a really good card. Move my commander to the command zone. Yes, please. Phyrexian Tower. Ooh, you have so much mana. Timuret calls the dead. That's gonna throw more things into their graveyard. Maybe make some zombies. Is this a zombie deck, I wonder? No. Packrat. This is just a mono black deck. They also have a bunch of zombies, though. They could bring out Liliana and then use her minus ability to kill the knight, but I would be able to enhance my knight and make it real chunky. It, unfortunately, can't get bigger than 10. I'm looking. They have 10 cards in their graveyard. Yep, nope. Knight's dead. Nice, Rankle! So, good news, bad news. Good news, I kill Liliana. Bad news, they're gonna kill Rankle. When they get this amass token, they're gonna have an easy sacrifice here to be able to get rid of my Rankle, but I'll take that. At least I got a 4th land. Sacrifice you to fresh zombies. Rid me of my Rankles. We could also keep the zombies until Timmerick calls the dead. Gains them life, gets them zombies. But nope, they're just going for it. There goes Rankle. Bye, Rankle. Love ya. This is my hope. They don't know about this Massacre Wurm, and I need this Massacre Wurm. A plus. I'm going to drop Epic Downfall. There's no targets for it here. Actually, I'm going to drop Torment of Hailfire because I'm so far behind on mana. And next turn, I'm going to hope to get Necrogoyf out. They could choose not to plus, but I kind of doubt that. Nice! A land! And we just sit here. They gain life. They scry. Liliana, would you like to make me discard? Of course you would. You have to plus. You have to get to your ult. We're going to discard Necrogoyf. We're going to pay the madness cost. Oh, what madness we have. They can still make me sacrifice it using the Priest of Forgotten Gods. Oh, my cat is rubbing against my leg. Hello, Scraps. Are you having a great morning? Yes, you are. You were so cute this morning. I'm gonna drop Epic Downfall here. Nice. I am going to attack Liliana with the Necrogoyf. I'm waiting for them to use this Priest of Forgotten Gods. Okay. Eldest Reborn. Everybody loves a good Lurgoyf. This is just like an extra nasty Goyf, too. Perhaps if you knock your head into that lamp, it's gonna fall over. We've been through this many times. You are so dang cute. Alright, started their turn, I have to discard. Yes, wow, you're such a loud little cat. You gonna hop up on this stool? What if I move it right here next to me? Yes, meow, you are a cat. I love that you're a cat. Can you see her? Yes! Oh my god, she's showing up on camera. Hi, girl. Are you my little co-commentator? Are you gonna broadcast the World Championship with me? Meow. We're blessed. We are so blessed. I am the luckiest person because I get to hang out with this itty teeny bitty kitty. Mwah. Oh my god, is that a kicked Josu Vess? Alright, so. I need a land. I need a land so bad. And by so bad, I mean so good. Girl, no. No, I need a land. Girl, I need a land. Massacre Wurm is like, what a feast. What a feast. They're ulting Liliana. They're gonna get to reanimate creatures from a graveyard. Not yours, from a graveyard. Oh, no. We are in so much trouble here, but I don't actually think we're dead yet. Are we? Oh, right, that gets haste. Oh, it doesn't even matter. That's negative 11 life. Still, I'm gonna say, good game, Liliana, good game. It's Joda the Unifier. Gonna be 5-color legendaries. Well, I've got a decent hand here, mostly because I have 2 lands, but it has the downside of there's no black mana here. I'm gonna keep this, and if we don't draw black mana, we're probably not gonna have a game. Let's see how it goes. Cabal Stronghold. Give my lady a couple of swamps. It's Joda Shrines? The Sanctum of Stone Fangs. Resting. Joda is a legendary's commander, and shrines are indeed legendary. Relic of Legends, it's going to ramp them, get them even more. So I'm going to hit their hand this turn. Let's go Liliana of the Veil. I'm going to plus, make us both sacrifice. Card from our hand, discarding. And I'm going to drop, I think actually Massacre Wurm here. I feel like Massacre Wurm is not very useful against Joda decks. Even if it is Joda Shrines, there's probably going to be very few things, once they're buffed by Joda, that die to the worm. Okay, Haunting of Night's Reach. I'm going to take a look at your hand. What is going on over here? Chulane and a Haunting of Seeing Winds. This is a crazy brew. All right, I'm gonna plus. I'm gonna drop Flunk and play the Black Cat and attack in for 1. So happy I drew swamps. I have to discard 2 cards. That's fine. I'm gonna drop Davriel and the Fell Specter. They are, I think, able to play Joda here. Oh, they're going for this Goshen tie. Nice. That way they can deal some damage to Liliana. We are going to attack in with Rankle. Rankle, we're going to go for draw a card and then sacrifice a creature. I sacrifice the cat. It makes them discard whatever that is. And I still do want a plus here. I'll just drop the land. Draw again. Infernal Grasp. Cool. We draw. We discard. Doesn't really matter. And empty head. Empty. Joda the Unifier is now out. And Joda the Unifier is now dead. I'm gonna go ahead and play the Phyrexian Tower, and I could activate Tinybones if they were empty-handed, but I think that it's going to be better for me to animate the Faceless Haven, swing in with everybody, discard. That's it, just discard. Okay, Circle of Loyalty. Yeah, I guess I could have gone for Tinybones. It would have been more damage. They've gained some life off the Sanctum of Stone Fangs. Prismatic Bridge. I have very, 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 very little removal for this. That's fine. Inscription of Ruin. Nothing I really want to do there. Activate Tinybones. Let's swing in. Go for the, each player loses a life and draws a card. That way they have a card in hand. I'm gonna make them discard it. I'm gonna make me discard too. I'm gonna play this land, because otherwise we'll have to discard. We draw anyway. There it is. The Prismatic Bridge, though, is gonna get a random permanent. And they got Goshen Tie of Hidden Cruelty. Hey, that can kill Rankle or Tinybones. Valentine. Paying 1. Killing my Rankle. And they can also pay the 2 to get a little pest. But, hand empty. No card draw in sight. This kills the Joda. Good game, everybody. So, thank you all so much for watching today's episode of Brawl Stars, one of our Halloween specials. If you didn't see my little announcement about this, I'm putting out a whole bunch of Brawl Stars episodes before Halloween, because right after Halloween, I'm going to be taking some time off for surgery. I'm getting a tumor removed, and while it hopefully will be uneventful, I don't think I'll be able to stream or make videos for at least a week after, so I'm gonna be sleeping in bed. Don't worry, I'll still be posting on Twitter, so if you want to see dumb jokes, you can find me there. Also, if you want to see me stream things live, like when I'm making these videos, you should come over to twitch.tv/Amazonian. It's a great time, I wear really cool jackets, and there's a lot of magic to be had. Thanks for watching!